Start with Brian, please. Brian, it seems like obviously every time you fight, we get the narrative of the war hero and the military background. Is there any part of you that's kind of tired of rehashing that story, is looking for a different narrative, or are you excited to continue to have this platform to speak on?
Honestly, it's never easy to talk about because it always feels like I'm coming off bragging about my military history, and that's not my intention. Being a president of a charity that helps veterans find jobs when they get out of the military, obviously it's important for me to continue to leverage the media I get from my fighting to raise money for that organization for the cause of finding veterans jobs. So I think maybe some of the hardcore fans get sick of hearing about it, but I'm not the one who asks the questions, so my job is to answer the questions. And I think obviously being Memorial Day, that was going to happen for this fight, so I'm sorry if people are getting sick of hearing it.
Fair enough. And obviously, Vanderlei Silva was the original target opponent, and he turned you down because you're this American hero. How do you feel when you hear something like that? Is there any concern that you're going to face that as you continue to come up the ranks? People don't want to fight you?
No. I think for every one Brian Stann fan, there's probably 5,000 Vanderlei Silva fans. So I don't think that was the case. I think, in all honesty, Vanderlei was injured. He didn't know when he was going to be able to come back. He didn't want to drag me on. And when you get to legend status like Vanderlei is, some fights pique your interest and some fights don't, and it didn't. And in all honesty, let's face it, I got a tougher opponent who's better for my career. I mean, look who George Santiago is. He's a champion, 11-1 the last 4 years, basically undefeated, multiple belts, and I have everything, so much more to gain from this fight than I would have fighting Vanderlei Silva, in my opinion.
For Dana, I saw when Brian was talking, a big smile on your face. It just seems like he's a promoter's dream. He says everything that you would want to hear. He doesn't really complain about anything. He just takes any opportunity that you give him, right?
Yeah, he's obviously he's a great human being. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. And while he was talking, I wasn't smiling at him like he's my dream. I was smiling at saying, this guy, he says it like it is. He nailed that one right on the head. I agreed with everything that came out of his mouth.
Is it a coincidence that he's fighting on Memorial Day?
We think I'm that smart that we said, hey, let's get Brian Stann on the card of Memorial Day and play up the war hero thing? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, I don't know.
Steve Eubanks from Fox Sports. This is for George and Brian. George, under any other circumstances, given your comeback story, you would come into this event as a fan favorite, but given the fact that you're fighting Brian on Memorial Day, you're probably not going to be. Is that going to affect you in any way, and have you thought about it?
No, not really. I'm very excited for this. One day asked me to fight Brian Stann. I was like, hell yeah, in 1 weekend. I just love America as much as he does. I live here. I have my children here, so it's an honor for me to fight him and fight the main card. Big opportunity, I love it. No pressure at all.
And Brian, given the fact that it is Memorial Day and a casual fan who wouldn't otherwise have tuned in may tune in just to see you, do you feel any additional pressure going into this?
No, I don't feel any pressure. I think, given my perspective, my life experiences, I don't feel maybe the same level of pressure for fighting that maybe some other athletes do. The only expectation I levy on myself in the fight is to go out there and fight very hard. Due to the rankings and the way this fight is structured, I have everything to gain and really not much to lose in this fight. So, my military fans and the fans that may tune in just because it's Memorial Day, they know what to expect of me. They know I'm going to come out there, fight real hard, and always try and finish the fight. So that doesn't put any extra pressure on me. I love fighting. I enjoy fighting. I don't have to do this. I can go do something else if I wanted to, but I've been given an amazing opportunity by the UFC. Here I am, and I really make it a point to enjoy every minute I'm in that octagon, because in the blink of an eye that can be taken from any one of us. And how many people honestly get the opportunity to be a professional athlete, have an entire arena screaming for you at a moment in time? I mean, we're gods in there for 15 minutes during that time, and that's going to pass us by. So I savor the opportunity, and I'm just very lucky to be fighting a champion like George.